Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today at Beauty Cult Canada. My name is Suzanne, and I'm the Director of Education and Training. And we are launching our very first Watch and Learn segment. We are bringing these to you every month, is the plan, with different topics, different ideas, all about learning and trying to help you in this industry to be successful, find community, and know that you can reach out to us anytime. I'm going to start by sharing our screen here. Okay. So this powerhouse ingredient, bakuchiol, not sure if you've heard of it yet. It's making its rounds around this whole year, basically. Some are finding it a little bit quieter aspect of things, but as brands are bringing it in, reformulating, that type of thing, you're probably seeing a bit more. So what exactly is it? Basically, it's a natural retinol alternative. And we're going to dive into a few things about it and hopefully help you in your treatment room and with clients as well for home care. So today, what we're going to cover is just an understanding of what bakuchiol is, how it compares to retinol, the benefits and tolerability of it, why it's a game changer in our industry, and how it can actually support our treatments as well. And if you're doing any advanced facial massage techniques, how it actually works with it as well. So the first thing, a quick review as we're comparing it to retinoids. What exactly is a retinoid? So it's a compound of vitamin A. And I know a lot of you will know this already. I just want to do a quick review through it. That's all. If you've got questions, again, just put it in the chat and we will have time at the end of the presentation to go through your questions and hopefully have your answers too. So they're commonly used in skincare and improves texture, reduces wrinkles, that type of thing. And retinol is also commonly used over the counter too. So it's very readily used to the public. And the whole idea about retinoids is the increase of cell renewal turnover. And that stimulates and helps the collagen production, the skin overall function as well. So the benefits, anti-aging, as we know, is going to help reduce fine lines, wrinkles, stimulate collagen, improve that firmness and elasticity. It also can help with acne treatments if you're doing focused on that. So it prevents that clogged pore from happening, so reduces the breakout, reduces the inflammation, and also will help to some degree fade that post-acneic marks that are left behind. Also even out skin tone, so reducing that hyperpigmentation, age spots, and overall skin texture and brightness improval. The skin renewal side of it, again, that's speeding up that cell turnover and smooth rough patches of the skin as well. The pros of retinoids, as I just went through basically, but clinically is proven to improve overall skin appearance, available in a variety of strengths from beginner to advanced users as well. And that can be home care and that can also be professional services, right? Can also be in combination with other anti-aging or acne products. Long-term use helps to maintain that youthfulness to the skin as well. So the cons and side effects. When we look at retinoids, they can be irritant to the skin, redness, maybe the peeling, dryness, especially the first use. Everybody's different. And of course, it's going to depend on how much is being used or the percentage of that ingredient. The sun sensitivity, so increased photosensitivity, sunscreen is essential and mandatory, is what we kind of try to push for to our home care people using retinoids or having retinoid treatments. There could be purging, so there's that maybe that temporary worsening of the acne breakouts as the skin adjusts to everything, and not recommended during pregnancy. And it's really just because of that, the prescription retinoids, I should say, can be harmful to the fetus as well. Gradual results. So it can improve slowly, but definitely over about 8 to 12 weeks for the over-the-counter formulations. And always starting out by nice and slow, steady kind of wins the race, 1 to maybe 2 times a week, applying at night. And again, pairing with that sunscreen is essential. And if they're beginning, then it's really going slowly with them. So precautionary, so it's not too aggressive and too fast, so you don't have those irritants happen that quickly. Retinoids are categorized by their strength and availability. So you have your over the counter, the OTC ones. The retinol is that mild, slower acting, if you wish. It converts to retinoic acid to the skin. So it's really good for that pro-aging, the anti-aging. There's also the retinol dye, and that slightly stronger retinol and less irritation than prescription form. But there's retinol pulpinate as well, and this its weakest form. It's probably one of the most common ones out there, and the people are using it quite often because it is meant for sensitive and gentle beginnings. There's also prescription ones, and this is where you want to be noting what your clients are using, and even when you're doing with the bakuchiol as well. That's why I'm bringing this up. You still want to know what prescriptions are they using? Are they seeing any medical advice on that, dermatologist, that type of thing? So we're not educating on retinoids, just a quick overview on this. I do have a chart, so then you can also, if you're watching the recording on this, you can just pause this, take a screenshot if you'd like, or you can do that right now too. So let's dive into what bakuchiol actually is. It is a natural plant derivative extract, and basically it's being referred to as the phytoretinol. So unlike retinol, bakuchiol is well tolerated by most skins. Again, you're going to have the odd person that could react to anything. It could be autoimmune, it could be medications. A lot of things can be a part of why they're having issues, but generally, most people are not having any issues at all. I know for myself personally, I have to limit to how much retinoids I use. Just a thinner skin, more sensitive, that type of thing. And I haven't had an issue using this ingredient thus far. And I'm in week 4 now with it. So it's also not structurally related to retinoids at all, but it actually mimics the effects to the skin. And fun fact, this is not anything new. It's been used for history, a long time ago in the Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine. So it is gentle, well-tolerated alternatives, especially for clients who cannot use retinoids on a regular basis, or they're sensitive, or there's medical things like that that could be the issue as well. So again, not here to say that retinols are wrong. It's just a different option for you out there. So key benefits: it boosts collagen, improves fine lines and elasticity. It also reduces hyperpigmentation. It strengthens your skin barrier function. It's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, safe again for most skins, and can be used AM and PM, which is different than the retinols. Most retinols, anyways, unless they're paired with other things. The other thing is bakuchiol pairs well with most active ingredients, including acids, mild acids at that. So key things, when you look at the collagen production itself and what's happening here with elastin collagen, it actually activates similar cellular pathways as retinol. So that's when they say it's mimicking it. It's the same thing in that aspect at a cellular level. So specifically, the retinoids are binding and working with that pathway to the cell without binding to the retinoid itself as receptors directly. So what does that actually mean in practical terms? It increases your collagen 1 and 3, improves the dermal density of the skin, and reduces wrinkle depth, smoother texture, and more bounce to the skin, so that elasticity. So bakuchiol triggers collagen binding or collagen building behaviors, if you wish, in the skin, which leads to that firmer and that lighter appearance over time without any irritation cycles that happen when retinol could cause that as well. 2, It reduces hyperpigmentation and dark spots. So bakuchiol interferes with the melanin synthesis pathways by helping to reduce dark spots. It fades that post-inflammatory response that can happen, that inflammatory hyperpigmentation, improve all overall brightness. And unlike retinol, it does not cause that light sensitivity. So this is that bonus. You can use this in the daytime and not worry. You still want to be using sunscreen. That's a given all the time, but you don't have to worry about that adverse effect to the sun. So basically, bakuchiol is that melanin regulator that gently brightens the skin, and ideally for clients with that stubborn pigmentation and those that can't handle the stronger versions of things. So sometimes less is more, and your clients can carry on with their life without having those aggressive treatments. 3 is anti-inflammatory and soothing action. So the extract of the plant, traditionally used in, like I mentioned before, Ayurveda medicine and Chinese medicine, it was used for calming the skin. So bakuchiol is very high in flavonoid profile, so it's giving that strong anti-inflammatory benefit. This makes it effective for acne-prone skin, so inflamed skin. It's going to be calming the redness. The reactive skins are sensitive, or the sensitized ones that have had over treatments as well. So it helps to rebuild the skin. Rosacea-prone clients, be mindful if they're in that inflammatory stage of a blowout or breakout of rosacea, then probably not to be used. Let them get that calmed down, use their medication that their doctor, dermatologist probably gave them, and then you could go ahead and proceed. So it helps reduce inflammation cascade that contributes to pigment, accelerated aging, acne formation, and you can think of it as bakuchiol is the melanin regulator that gently brightens the skin. Again, ideal for those stubborn pigments or for clients who can't use that stronger active to help break down the hyperpigmentation. The fourth one to talk about is the strengthening of the barrier. So how does that work? So unlike retinol, which often strips our lipid barrier or our protective barrier, bakuchiol actually supports it. So it does the reversal. So how it works is it improves the ceramide production in our skin. It reduces the water loss, so that transepidural water loss. It's smoother, so it helps that soothing and softening of the skin and holding that moisture in. And overall, it's just less reactive. So this is ideal for mature clients with compromised barriers or anyone with a compromised barrier, but not super young people, because again, their skin, you have to watch how much they're doing because biologically they're not at that level yet in their skin. The other one is winter. Sometimes the winter skincare is where they really need it to help with that hydration as well. And those that just simply can't use retinoid is an easy one to look at, or they can't use it as often as you'd like to prescribe to them and often recommend that 2, 3 times a week. Maybe that's not for them. So this one actually works quite well for that. And your post-treatment recovery as well. So bakuchiol builds that barrier while delivering an anti-aging or pro-aging benefit, the opposite of what you'll find with retinol sometimes. Number 5 is the powerful antioxidant properties that bakuchiol has. Bakuchiol neutralizes the free radicals that break down collagen and accelerates the aging process. So it helps prevent the environmental and the UV-induced damage that happens. It also helps to reduce the glycation, which is that sugar damage that's part of the aging process. It protects the fibroblasts as well, softens future lines that might be coming along. So it starts to combat that right away. And this allows the pros to you professionals to position yourself in both a corrective and a preventative aspect as well. So how we're going to kind of talk about that as we go through this presentation. Now, bakuchiol does not cause photosynthesis. So this is a major difference between bakuchiol and retinol. Bakuchiol is that photostable, non-photosensitizing, so meaning it is safe to use it AM and PM. It doesn't increase your UV reactivity, and it doesn't require a retinization period. So this is perfect for people when you think about it in their lifestyles is the outdoor worker, summer skincare. I'll even push on the fact that winter, because a lot of people go away in the winter or they're skiing. So think of the outdoor lifestyles as well, right? Clients who react to retinol, especially in the sunlight, they have that adverse effect. So think of it as there's no adjustment phase needed when using bakuchiol. With retinol, most clients, you have to go through that acclimation period called the retinization, which often includes that redness, dryness, flaky, irritation or sensitivity can happen. So they have to start out really slow, only 2 times a week. Some are 1 time a week, and then go to two, and then maybe even three. But this is over a period of time. That's because the retinol actually speeds up the cell turnover and temporarily disrupts that skin barrier. So bakuchiol does not. It's adjusting to the skin, so it's not going to react in a way or readjust the natural components of your skin. So again, it can be used right away, an AM and PM, and you can explain it as in a way that retinol requires a break in period because it irritates the skin. Whereas bakuchiol delivers the similar results without any of those irritation, and you don't need that retinization phase. Number 7 is the compatibility with pretty much all ingredients, actives. So bakuchiol pairs well with vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, peptides, AHAs, BHAs, I would say at a mild form, and niacinamide as well, and ceramides. LED lights are fine with it too, and professional exfoliations. So basically, bakuchiol actually plays really well with others. So it's a team player in your treatment room. So it's very flexible in formulation of how you're using it. Whatever line you end up with, you can probably count on that chemist and research that they've composed it together in the ingredients. So you don't have to do the formulations yourself, but just think when you're doing treatments or using other serums or day creams, that type of thing, these are pretty much the ones that they pair very well with. Number 8, suitable for all skin types. We touched on that a little bit. So basically, it's because retinoids actually can create that redness, dryness, flaking, sensitivity reaction, but bakuchiol avoids that irritation. It doesn't cascade into that redness, dryness, flaking, and sensitivity. It actually helps for sensitive skin. It helps for the dry and dehydrated skin. It aids in repairing that damaged barrier. And it also helps with acne-prone skin and for mature skins as well, for that pro-aging, and even teens. So it's not strong and aggressive. We're not using retinols on young skins. So bakuchiol is okay depending on the formulation you have. That I would be addressing your educator of the brand that you end up with using. So even rosacea clients, as I mentioned previously, again, if they're on that full inflammatory level where they have a little bit of a breakout, we'll call it, in the bumps, then I would hold off on that. Just tell them to use their product or talk to their dermatologist about it, and they can advise them as well how they should or shouldn't do it. But usually when there's that inflammatory response, we need it to calm down with rosacea before we start giving it actives again. So this widens the market dramatically for estheticians, facial technicians who want to start like really showing results in the treatment room and really lowering your risks for those adverse effects that could happen, reactions. So bakuchiol versus retinol, just quickly show you a side-by-side slide here of the differences of the two. So when you think of, there's a lot of clinical studies being shown out there. You just need to research. I'm sure your brand can help you with that as well to show you what they have and what they know by their research. But it basically performs similar to a zero point 0.5 retinol level. So it improves that wrinkle and pigmentation, significantly less irritation. When you're combining, some are actually combining retinol and bakuchiol together. That's okay. Just remember there's still a side effect to potential side effect, pardon me, to the retinol side if they're putting that together in their product line for you. So keeping in mind, this is ideal when we're talking bakuchiol on its own with the ingredients that work well. There are brands, like I said, that are using the two together, and just to be mindful of that and just talk to your educator of your brand and they'll help guide you through your protocols and tell you, how to use it safely, properly, without having, maybe that retinization effect, or someone has that issue that can't handle the retinal side. And again, the big one that's happening today that I've noticed is that disruption of the barrier by overuse of it. And younger people are using it and they're following the noise out there on our social media saying, oh, you can do retinol like 4 times a week. And they're in their 20s. So, or 30s for that matter. Keep in mind to really educate your clients on the differences. I'm hoping to give you all the tools you can, so that you can, position yourself as that facial technician, giving the results to that the skin friendly way, and not having that client have that intolerance happen on the retinoid side of things. So who is this for? Again, targeting quite a wide range in our treatment rooms. And keep in mind, another one is a lot of people are looking for that clean skincare line, that holistic. They like to hear that you're using a plant form base. So that's something to consider as well. The reason highlighting menopause, this is also for pre or perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Basically, a lot of times skins, that's when they really start pushing in the retinoids. But as we know, with the hormone changes in skin, that can actually cause more effect, reactions, more redness to the skin, maybe from the hot flashes and things like that. So this one does not create that redness that most people get from retinoids, especially if they are having a hot flash or hormone changes, or that wintertime dryness that happens as well. So that's something that you can look at in the client, who and what age you're working with. Teens, again, this is the mild acne. It's just starting to break out and their texture is changing a little bit, whereas retinoids are too strong for the young ones like that. Their skin's not ready, even for, chemical peels. I know a lot of people are using it on young teens, but a lot of brands are saying it's too much for their age, of their biological age, I'll say. So there's different things you can approach, but this one has been proven to not cause the bakuchiol ingredient on its own, not combined with retinol. Again, I'm emphasizing that to really know your brand and what's in it. So, as some of you know, one of the brands that we carry at Beauty Cult Canada is called Bernard Cassier. And I wanted to share with you one of their findings that they have from their research. So when you're comparing, the general level of the skin versus the bakuchiol extract, and then that's the red, and then the blue is the retinol. So the stimulation for the collagen 1 and 4 types, and also collagen 3 for that older skin for the fibroblasts, you can see the significant effects that have happened and a lot better results from the bakuchiol ingredient itself. Some of the products that they carry, I'm sure they're not going to mind us sharing some of these images with you and the results that they got from it. So talk to your brand and hopefully they have things like this that they can share with you so you can post in your treatment room and show your clients the actual real results that happen. So from their D cream, and there's a picture with this a little bigger so I can show you, but one of the things unique to them is they do have what's called a VisuScan, so they can actually see the results under the skin, and you can see that below the 0 here, and this is the eye area that they're noticing. But I'm going to show you the picture a little closer here. So you can see with the arrows, when you're comparing the size, the difference on the far side is day 1, no product being used. And then after 2 months of using the day cream and day and night, this is what the results were. So you can see the difference if you look closely on the line reduction. Again, it's very slow. it's going to keep getting better and better. It's not this drastic result where people go, "Oh my God, what did you do?" It's more like, "Oh wow, you're looking really good." It's that they don't know what it is. They can't put their finger on it when they see you, but that's kind of the idea. You can also see the pigment is lightening somewhat in the skin as well. But this one is a lot about the firmness and the texture. If you look at the right side of her cheek, the difference from this side, a little more crepey. It drops down a lot farther. And on this right side here of the screen, you can see the difference. Again, up in the forehead too, if you notice, there's two pigmentations on the left side. When you come over to her right side, you can barely see it anymore up in that area. So again, Bernard Cassier has their models that they use, and basically their instrumental measures from their Visoscan machine is where they're getting this information from. They also have a neck cream and décolleté. So I'm just going to show you quickly, again, just showing you they do have clinical results to back their images and their information. But basically the difference of that area, you can see 30 days versus 60 days. And I'm just going to go to the next screen because you'll see us side by side a lot better that way. So after 30 days of use, and this is every day, this person used the serum twice a day as they reflect down below. And you can see after 30 days, the difference in her lower jaw. And even up on the sides here, you can see how much tighter her skin has gotten. And on this side, you can see after 30 days as well. Now, when you look at the other side, underneath tends to be an area where people are really, I know I'm always looking at that myself too. We can't help it sometimes. But underneath, you can see the tightness and the difference in the skin. Also, just notice the coloring of her skin, the pigmentation through here, just a tiny bit through there, and you can see how much lighter and even toned the skin is as well. So this is used for the décolleté neck, and they push it up into the lower, just above the jaw, but below the cheekbone. But it can be used all over the face as well as fine. The other one is an eye cream. No photos for that one, but I would just show you some of the, amazing results that they're getting. But that's just giving you one of the things that they do. So talk to your brand and see what they can give you as backup and evidence so that you can share it with your clients as well. And then that brings confidence into what you're using too as a professional. So just to review this one more time. So bakuchiol is that plant-derived ingredient. It's non-irritating. There's no dryness or peeling that's going to happen to the skin or sensitization to the skin, pardon me. It's safe for sensitive skins and compromised barriers, so it's not going to cause an irritation. It's actually going to help repair that barrier. And the photostability of it all, so they can be used in the daytime, no issues. The other thing is that it works very well and plays well with other ingredients. So a lot of times you're going to see this paired with other ingredients, vitamin C, peptides, and mild AHAs, and suitable for acne-prone skin. So again, this is a reminder that the bakuchiol performs at a similar level as a retinol at a 0.5%. So without that significant irritation. Whereas the retinol side, as we know, it's a vitamin A derivative. It's powerful for sure, but we also know it can cause irritation sometimes, redness and dryness. So then your clients have to stop for a while. Then you might be able to reintroduce it based on their lifestyle as well. And not recommended for daytime at all. Contraindications, again, breastfeeding, pregnancy, medical treatments. And the one thing too is we'll talk a little bit about pregnancy in a moment, but just the last point here is it doesn't need that time to slow down or stop use for a little while because the bakuchiol does, but the retinol definitely needs it because it is going to disrupt the barrier of the skin when overused. So a little chart for you that kind of gives you a side by side. So again, if you want to take a picture, feel free. If you need any of this information, not the full slideshow, but if there's components of it you want me to share with you, that's not a problem. And then in the treatment room, just to give you a little bit of an idea how to use it. So if you're going step by step, let's just keep it really simple. So in a chart format, you're going to cleanse the skin, whether it's a milk cleanser or foaming cleanser, whatever it is that you are going to do based on the condition of the skin, thickness of skin, age of skin, skin type, I guess you could say. And exfoliations, you want a very low acid if you're using it, but you can definitely use an enzyme, but watch it's those mild enzyme peels. I know there's a lot of different ones out there, so nothing strong. You just want to go with mild. And you're going to tone and get the skin ready. You can use your active serums. If you have a bakuchiol serum on its own, then it's typically about that 1 to 2% mark. And the other thing you can do is you can see it does say you could probably combine it with other things. I would definitely talk to your brand representative or your educator of the brand that can help you with your own protocols in your treatment room so that you really understand what you want to do. The other thing is the mask is optional, but we always typically encourage to use masks and facials. And then you can go into your moisturizer to help support, and then SPF as well. And we put AM because you don't need an SPF in the evening typically. So it can be used, bakuchiol is very gentle and used in most facials. And again, including your super sensitive people as well. When you're combining it with other actives, just to dive a little bit more into that, instead of, using bakuchiol alone by itself, it does pair well with other things. So just a little chart for you to see. So peptides are really good. So if you're looking at your brand and they show what they have, well, here's the why behind it as well. So niacinamide is probably combined quite a bit in this one that I've researched, because it's also going to help the barrier and is brightening to the skin. Peptides, of course, you're going to see that for the anti-aging and firmness of the skin. Hyaluronic for that hydration and plumping, and our favorite of all, antioxidants, right? So it's going to help repair and boost that skin and really kind of help with that environmental defense that happens to our skin. So it works really well together. Now, again, avoiding combining this with any strong acids or strong retinoids. I would be consulting your brand. So watch if you are a person that likes to use different brands and work them together. Be very mindful of your ingredients and know it very well what you should be combining, because you don't want to have any reactions to the skin. Because bakuchiol should not cause any irritation to the skin. So if there's an irritation and you're using different brands and combining, or you didn't follow protocols that were given to you, just keep that in mind. It's something probably that you combined that you shouldn't have done. And it's more does not mean better. That's a big one. I think I'm going to make a t-shirt out of that one of these days. So suggestion again, for that professional treatment and how often. So your standard facial, that's fine. You can schedule it. Again, every session, depending on what the protocols are and what your goals are, but it could be weekly, bi-weekly on a client schedule. It just depends what's the goal with your client. Your intensive anti-aging or corrective facials can be part of that, what's going on after an exfoliation, a stronger exfoliation maybe, but it's not combined together with it. Your masks, that type of thing, or, your sensitive clients that are using retinoids and you're trying to rebuild the skin, but you can also pair it with some microcurrents. LED lights are always great. It pairs very well with it. The other thing to consider, and sometimes we forget about this, is that typically we have 4 seasons in the year. So when you look at when to use it, you want to think about, winter, which, I mean, bakuchiol can be used all year round, but what you want to look at is what are you combining that goal with if you want? So if you look at winter, we're trying to prevent, well, here in Alberta anyways, and most of you are across Canada, I believe, is that rich moisturizing, preventing the dryness, holding that high lipid barrier, lots of hydration to the skin. Spring and summer, we're going to emphasize even more SPF because they're outside more. But if you get your clients doing it every day, then you don't have to worry about it. But these are for people that they forget and they don't wear it in the winter. So remind them the emphasis of SPF daily. In the fall, you can increase that frequency again. It's also a great time, recovering from the summer stress that goes on, preventing what's coming for the dehydration component for winter, so you can get that skin prepped and ready. And like I said, it's year round. You don't have to stop using it unless you want to just change it per se, because our bodies and our skin kind of work the same. So imagine yourself, you know that broccoli is really good for you and maybe chicken breast and, rice, but you're not going to eat that every day for the rest of your life. You know, you need to change things up, and your skin is the same way. It's okay to use it all year round, but you can also segment this into like a seasonal treatment for your client as well. So there's just a few thoughts. There's a lot of things you can do with this. It's the puzzle planning, right, of our clients. So home care side of things, serums and cream formulation, typically that 1% to 2% is applied in the PM, and they can layer with a hydration cream, depending, like I keep emphasizing the brand that you're using. It can pair well with the SPF, so no worries at all. And you can introduce it gradually to your clients and, different actives if you want to go slowly, just so that they feel confident. Now, the one thing I was just going to talk about quickly was I talked about before when they said retinols that shouldn't be used with pregnancy. And you're going to find some things out there, some brands are saying it's okay to consider using bakuchiol pregnant breastfeeding. The only thing is it's tough because, you know, I would have a doctor's note just to ensure they can, even though it's plant-based and it's not going to, you know, bind like a retinoid would. It doesn't have that teratogenic risk to the skin like a retinoid does, or especially the prescription side. It's not associated with anything like that. But again, I personally wouldn't be experimenting with my pregnant client on this. So you would want to talk to, the brand representative, talk to them, your educator, see what they're saying about it. So watch the noise out there. I've been asked this already that I see out there on Instagram that they're using it on pregnant women. I said, well, I would get my client to consider getting my OB or her OB-GYN, as a peace of mind is a doctor's note, and feel free to take a screenshot of the ingredient so that they can see it as well. Or maybe the dermatologist, maybe, I'm not too sure which way, but definitely the OB-GYN, always a doctor's note is the best way. And close to the end, my friends, here, I just want to give you just a visual really quick when you see how to combine things, your steps to a facial protocol. Why are we doing it? Could be for anybody, sensitive skins, anti-aging benefits. Again, that safety portion here, please be mindful. I'd be getting a doctor's note on that. And I can't emphasize that enough. And then whenever you're unsure about something, that's the best recourse to go to always. The big thing is you don't need to worry about that retinization period to stop using it. You can use it. It's great with gentle peels and LED lights, and you can use it all year round. So today, I hope you understand that, bakuchiol is giving that more modern, skin-friendly way to deliver some really great results, like lifting and brightening and straightening, that smoothing without any irritation cycle. And as a professional, choosing ingredients that respect the skin barrier while still delivering really great treatments that you can actually see through before and after pictures. And before I go at all into the chat and we'll touch base on questions, if you do need to reach out to me, this is my email, and feel free anytime. And I'm going to turn off this presentation so Doreen can maybe go through the chat and let me know if there's any questions you have for us today.
No questions yet, Suzanne.
Okay, perfect. Let me just put my camera back on. Okay, well, as I mentioned before, there's more to come. We're going to bring in monthly segments. We are going to do our best to have them recorded. Unfortunately, sometimes technology and I don't work very well, as Jareen knows. So we'll do our best to have the recording as well up for your availability as well. So on that note, I think we're running pretty much on time. Perfect. Yes, thanks for getting on, Lana. I appreciate you joining us and everyone else as well. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.